Hello friends, now let us take up the concept number 13, 21.13, thread priorities. So far, in different contexts, I use the word thread priorities. You may understand it abstractly, but what is the real purpose of that, you might not have understood. That is why first I give you a simple example why thread priorities are required. Thereafter, all the relevant points I will explain to you. Actually, let us take a cement factory. Cement factory for manufacturing purpose, it is using computerized controls. And here mainly we divide it three operations. One is inputting material. Second one is process. Third one outputting material. So, three independent operations, but they should be done in a synchronized manner. You know that without inputting, processing cannot be done. Because of the processing, output is generated, it should be removed, otherwise it is piled up. So, for that also, piling up also certain capacity is there, thereafter problems are created. So, in this scenario, single computer is controlling three operations: inputting, processing and outputting. For that purpose, three threads are created. Three threads. Now, just out of, we do not know technology about cement manufacturing and all that. Even though, out of common sense, we can decide which is having higher priority, which is having normal, which is lower. So, processing is the highest priority. So, processing is not there, inputs cannot be utilized. So, if you have to give priorities to the three operations, input, process and output, how you can give? Obviously, process 1, input 2 and output 3. Those priorities you give out of common sense. Here, Java also defines certain constants which represent three states. One is minimum priority, min underscore priority, norm priority and high priority. Three constants are defined by the thread class, and this you understand that. If you give priorities like this, then what will happen? Every time processor thread, whenever it requires, it is, as it is a higher precedence thread, it uses the CPU processor time, and that is the first. Thereafter, required inputs are served, and output is the least priority, minimum priority is given. Output little delay is there also for moving conveyor belts and all that, then there is no much problem, no serious issue. Understand? Processing is first, input is second and output is third. This you understand. Then if you understand this, this example if you take, then you understand this concept very easily. No abstraction will be there. Okay. Now, actually threads are given different priorities. So, depending on the priorities, it gets the processor time. Obviously, higher precedence threads get the higher priority, and it is having a preemptive right. Preemptive right means higher priority thread comes into the running ready to run state, runs into the queue. Whatever low priority thread compared with the low priority thread which is using the processor currently should vacate and give the time to the higher priority thread, and the low priority thread should stand in the queue and wait for the completion of the higher priority thread. That is the preemptive order of execution. Okay. Now, you see that depending on the priority given by thread scheduler, the order is decided. That already I told you. And one more point you have to notice. Actually, all these multitasking capabilities are belong to host operating system. There are many operating systems, but the multitasking capabilities, the implementation of multitasking capabilities are not exactly uniform for all the operating systems. In such case, what happens? Depending on the platform, depending on the host operating system, the implementation procedure of multitasking capabilities are changed, that you can know. So, the implementation will be influenced by the host operating system in implementation of the multi-threading. So, whatever algorithms exactly used by A platform cannot be guaranteed on B platform, because every host operating system is having its own algorithm to implement multitasking capability. On the multitasking capability only, multi-threading capabilities of Java are depending. That point you have to notice. So, for thread priorities and all that, one is JVM's thread scheduler, and second one is the host operating system's multitasking capabilities, implementation of multitasking capabilities will influence. That point you have to understand. Thereafter, you must know that Java can work on any platform. Here from the beginning I am telling, many times I explained to you, write once, run anywhere. That means Java program can be implemented on any platform. Okay, that is why you do not expect that multi-threading capabilities of Java are implemented exactly in the same manner on all the platforms. This point I want to first explain. Thereafter, threads are given different priorities, already I told you. Actually, what is the default way? Default way is all threads are given equal priority. Equal priority by default is a normal priority. So, they stand in queue. This is the processor, and this is A thread, B thread, C thread, D thread, like this. Then they stand in queue for the processor time, and thread scheduler allocates a quantum on a round robin basis, and the quantums they use, that means they execute the thread here, and within the quantum they are not able to complete the entire task. Again this A thread should come into the queue and stand here. In that way, on time slicing basis, processor time is allocated, and these are executed. These are in the standing in the queue in the FIFO order, these are being executed. Okay, this already many times I explained to you. So, if you want, with a reference to the previous example, cement factory example, if you want to give different priorities and all that, you can give. For that purpose, what is provided? Three constants are provided. One is minimum priority, the constant, thread class provides this, its value is 1, and it is represented by 1. Norm priority, it is represented by 5, its value is represented by 5. High priority, this is 10. So, always you must remember one thing, whatever may be the current priority of the thread, priority level of the thread, it should be between 1 to 10. If it is less than 1 or more than 10, corresponding exception is thrown. So, that point you must remember. Next thing is how we can give priorities. Actually, already in the previous concept I explained to you, that is set priority and get priority. Set priority is meant for setting a priority level to a thread, and get priority method is used for knowing the currently assigned priority of a particular thread. So, by that these are complementary methods, setting priority and getting priority. How these are used, let us see. So, what you must understand first, the priority values are integer values only. This is 1, 5, 10. So, how these are assigned we have to understand. Now, we see this is the syntax. Thread A, new thread, one thread object we have created. So, what I told you, normal priority is the default priority. Any thread as soon as it is created, the default priority level is normal priority, that is 5, that is 5. Now, you see int priority, thread normal priority is automatically given, you want to increase it by 1. So, 1 you are going to increase. If you want to increase 1, 1, 1, 1 and all that, you can increase, but always it is not good to give up to 10. 10 is allowed, but only thing is that much priorities are given and all that, the system may be collapsed, because the coordination among the thread may be vitiated. That is why it is advisable not to give highest priorities and all that. Okay. Now, you see here priority is decided, that means how much is that, 5 plus 1. Now, A set priority, this priority we are giving here. This is the way we can assign the priority to a thread. Okay. Now, already some priority level was set to a thread, you are working on that, you want to get it confirmed. For that purpose, what you do, SOP A get priority, A get priority, by that you can know. So, these are the points you must remember before using thread priorities in your program. However, as I told you many times, actually we at this stage we are not taking up any big projects and all that. We are taking concept wise programs or small projects we are taking up. So, here you cannot understand the importance of priority levels and all that. So, what I request you, you understand the concepts and you understand the corresponding syntaxes, that is enough. And one more thing I am telling you, in your future interviews you have to face many questions. So, if you explain them mere technically, you may not satisfy the interviewer. That is why I have given some examples now, right now. Such type of examples you use, like cement factory, 3 process, input, process, out, those should be very convincing. And you give examples like this. Suppose you attended a function and stood in the occupied one seat in the first row, then some elderly person comes. So, you must give a respect to him. Then in such case you vacate the seat and give, because he is high priority. Suppose some VIP comes, you have to give is high priority. So, you have to vacate your seat and give. So, like that every time, and whatever may be the technology you are studying, every technology is reflected in the real life. Actually, real life instances are reflected in the technology. So, you identify such a real life situations, and if you effectively explain that through examples, then definitely you please the interviewers, and your answer will be definitely unique, and nobody will compete with you, definitely you will be succeeded.